Jurgen Klinsmann, welcome to the Sun team for the Euros. We're delighted to have you as a columnist to bring your special insight to our readers. It's a real pleasure for us. Do you have a nostalgic feeling every time you visit England?
Yeah, every time I come back, I feel like, I've been home here, at home, because the people, not only at the club at Spurs, were wonderful to me, but in general, wherever I went in England, people always have good memories and are nice to me and taught me a lot of things. And playing here in the Premier League twice then has been very special.
And of course you won the Euros here as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of time period. Yeah, winning the Euros obviously at Wembley, at your kind of temple, for us Germans was something wonderful, a fantastic experience. If we deserved it or not, because of the penalty shootout, then in the semi-finals with England, it could have gone either way. But all over, wonderful memories.
Do you still look out for Tottenham's results?
All the time. I'm always looking out for Tottenham. I'm always looking what they're doing in all competitions. And I always keep my fingers crossed, and I always hope that sooner or later we will win a trophy.
Really? Do you think it'll ever happen? But you must have been delighted that Arsenal didn't win the title.
Yeah, I was delighted. I was actually asked, I do a little bit of television work in the United States, and I was asked, so what is now more important, winning your game or making sure that Arsenal is not winning the championship? And I said, probably it's more important that Arsenal is not winning the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all Spurs fans feel like that, I already do. When you were a Spurs player, your goal celebration, a full-on dive right across the grass, endeared you really to English football fans because you came with a certain reputation. Can you still do it?
I cannot do it anymore, no. But it was a special moment because the idea came from Teddy Sheringham before the game against Sheffield Wednesday. And he said, if you score a goal, we're all going to do a dive, because the fans made fun of us just arriving at the stadium, and then it happened. And
how were they making fun of you?
With kind of signs, 5.6, 5.7, 5.8 up in the air. The lads having a blast in the bus, when he gets up. So it was Teddy's idea, come on, you score, we're going to do a dive. And then his son Charlie asked for another dive the week later, because all the kids started to do it in the parks. After scoring, they were diving. And so we said, okay, we'll do it again at White Hart Lane. And then there came a goal with a bicycle kick against Everton, and the whole team came, and we did another one. But then the story was done.
But you would always say you weren't a diver.
No, I was not a diver at all, absolutely at all.
Did you go down just a little bit easily?
No.
No. So where did you get the reputation from then?
Yeah, I don't know. It was maybe a little bit of jealousy or whatever, because we won those games in 1996. Yeah. We won certain moments where, some fans or some journalists would have felt should have gone the other way.
Like Harry Kane, you played for Spurs, you played for Bayern Munich. He's a talismanic player in England. Do you see a little bit of yourself in Harry Kane because of those links?
Yeah, a little bit, because he left Spurs with a big goal, winning titles, goes to a big club like Bayern Munich, which I did. That was my reason in '95 to leave Spurs after a wonderful year, to win titles, which I did then there. I won the UEFA Cup, I won the German Championship, and then obviously the Euros '96. And I wish him that too, even if it didn't work out in year one now with Bayern. I just wish him that these titles will be kind of part of his career, and they're coming. He will win them in the next year, and maybe he wins actually a bigger one this summer, because I think he has the possibility as a captain, as a skipper of the English side, going to Germany and win it right there where he's playing now.
But also as a Bayern Munich player, so that would
exactly
give you a bit of happiness.
Yeah.
Jurgen, you've been a player and a manager in international tournaments. What for you the big difference is? Obviously one you're on the pitch, one you're on the touchline, but mentally and the feeling inside, the emotions.
As a manager, certainly there come moments where you feel a little bit helpless, because you cannot really influence now the next move that happens on the field. And when you're a player, you always have the feeling, if I do something different now, I can really make something happen. As a manager, you try to push them and try to give them information, but it's them. They are running the shows. It's a player's game. But I think the general energy that you can give as a manager to your team, to your environment, has a really vital role in how you kind of make them be successful and hopefully win the game and hopefully do something special. So the roles of a player and a manager are extremely different.
Do you think you're more selfish when you're a player? Obviously, you're in part of the team, but you want to do well for yourself as well, don't you?
Yeah, I think there's a bit more selfishness as a player is there in you, especially as a striker. You want to score goals. But as a manager, you always think of what's going on in your entire group of people that you're around, the players, well, the medical staff, the media staff, the administrative staff. So you're handling about, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 people. So you're far more in a role of constantly looking after other people and look out for other people and delegate. Meanwhile, as a player, you are more zoomed in and said, okay, what is my job today? And then as a striker, obviously, the Harry Kanes of the world say, got to score 2 goals today.
What's the pressure like, though, as a manager compared to being a player, do you think?
I don't think there's much different to the playing days, where you experience expectations and pressure and you want to badly win whatever game you play. As a manager, it's the same feeling. You want to do well for everybody around you, if you're managing a country, for your country. If you manage a club team, then it's your club. Hopefully, we do as good as we can. I don't think that actually pressure or expectations is something negative, as it often is. I love it. I was always stimulated. The more that game mattered, the more it became big, and obviously European Championship is something very big. After the World Cup, it's the second biggest tournament that you can play or coach in. So I always embraced that. I loved that. And obviously the further you go in the tournament, the more fun, the more exciting, and you wanna reach out for the trophy at the end of the day.
You won the Euros as a player, you won the World Cup as a player, and you nearly won the World Cup as a manager. You lost in the semi-finals in your home country. Do you ever look back at that and think, I was that close?
Oh, many times.
Do you?
Many times, yeah. You go through that semi-final. We played it with Italy then in 2006, and we thought we had it right there. We would have done this or this differently, boom, we would have been in the final. But still, you take in this entire experience of a tournament, and the 2006 tournament for us in Germany was a big deal, because not winning it was one thing, but winning over the country and the population was the other big thing, and so we were extremely proud of what actually happened throughout that tournament. But as a manager or as a player, you go in every opportunity meeting, in every tournament, to be there until the very end.
Would you make England the favourites for this tournament?
I think yes. I'm part of a lot of people that would make England the favourite for this tournament, because you look at the progression now into the Euros 2024 with England, having played a wonderful tournament in Russia 2018, very strong Euros in 21, and now and also a very good tournament in Qatar. I followed all 3 tournaments in the stadiums. I was at all the games. I think the moment is just there.
What's missing though? What's the bit that doesn't quite get us over the line?
I mean, maybe here and there a little bit of luck. You need that little bit of luck too. You need to kind of be on the winner's side of a penalty shootout, because they will always come across. Or maybe a decisive moment in a game that it goes not against the post and bounces out, that goes in the goal, crosses the line. And maybe it needs this type of patience, being developed over a couple of years and then being paid off. And that's why I think the timing could be the right one now for England in these Euros. The squad is incredibly good, as other nations as well. But I think they should have every right to believe in it, to go for it, and to have the confidence to going into every game against whoever they're going to play, saying, no, we are here until the final.
Who's the star player for you, for England? Who do you think makes the difference?
I think a difference maker since years is now Harry Kane. Has always been a difference maker. Now with Jude Bellingham having the breakout season with Real Madrid on a world-class level, we have big hopes in him for sure. But there are enough players, Foden had an exceptional year with Man City. There are players that can make a difference in a split second in this English team. And that's why I think they should be confident.
What about for Germany then? Germans have had a few fallow years, haven't you? You've not been the Germany we've grown to expect, the team that gets to the end and sometimes wins, but very, very rarely goes out in the early stages. Do you think they're on their way back?
I think Germany is on its way back, yeah. I think this could be, after the disappointments in Qatar and Russia, I think they didn't disappoint in the Euros 2021 and when they lost against England, because it couldn't have gone either way and it went England's way and it was the right way. But they played a good tournament until that point. But both World Cups were thrown out of the window and they have to correct that. And they have a team full of quality, similar to the English squad, and with a manager now coming on board with Julian Nagelsmann, who is very good related to this young generation of players coming through. And that gives me hope, it gives me a smile, because I think, he finds a way to communicate with this young group of players, and he has a couple of experienced guys like Toni Kroos and Manuel Neuer and Gündogan. They can make it happen. They can make it happen if they respect each other, if they get along, if they have a great chemistry, and then if they have a good start into the tournament.
Well, first game's against Scotland. What do you make of that one?
And I think this is really a wonderful kind of start of a tournament, because with the fantastic Scottish fans coming streaming into Munich, I have that already in front of my eyes. That I don't think if the Bavarians really expect so many Scottish people coming in, and rolling out towards the Allianz Arena stadium. I think it will be a fantastic opening game. It will be a tough one for Germany, but I think they have enough quality to beat them.